Greetings and thank you for choosing the flowering for this pick a card reading. This is your next steps. You are looking forward, you have the goal in mind. What is the next step? What are the next steps to take? So, briefly, take a moment, inhale deeply, and hold that question in your mind as you choose a card. And we're going to get started. So, we are going to look at where you are right now, where you're going or what your goal is. And then we're going to look at the next 3 steps, any potential blocks or support, and advice and guidance. All right. So group 1. This first card will be where you are currently. Wow. The Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful. And this is your goal or where you're going. Okay. So currently, I feel like the Wheel of Fortune, you feel like it's time for something. You feel like change is on the horizon. You feel like that a needed change is taking place, okay? I also feel like you could be studying something or researching something and waiting for the right time to move on it, okay? So I feel like you just want to do something by the book is where your mind is. I also feel like currently, I do feel like you are getting different little signs that things are getting better. This doesn't feel like there are major anything. I say major, but it just feels like your physical environment may still not show unsurmountable proof that good things are taking place. But I feel like there's little signs and little synchronicities, little feelings that you're getting that things are turning over. And I feel like you honestly, even though the environment is not necessarily saying, you are feeling lighter and lighter every day that passes. It's almost as if I heard ride the wave. So I think that that when the waters settle, or if you are currently in something that is kind of like at the end, but it's still kind of shaky, it just feels like you feel it in your being that change is coming, that it's here. You feel very confident. And I think that you really were just waiting for the right time, because it doesn't feel like to me that anything else was holding you back. I think you were being very patient and you were studying in the meantime. For some of you, you're looking to have your own business. And for others, you're waiting for a partner, a Leo. This is funny because I also just heard that for some of you, you are unaware of this thing that's coming in. And this is weird because it's supposed to be a goal that you have set. So ultimately, it feels as if there is a deadline of August that you have. It's very specific because it feels like the deadline is a birthday, someone's birthday, or an anniversary of something. You want to do this thing on that day, or you want this to be complete by then or something, you know. What could the Leo card be when it's a goal? I do feel like this is, you publishing something. You could be publishing something soon and, just waiting for the right time. publishing a book, writing a book. Some of you are researching, for some of you, you want to plant gardens. You want to grow your own food. And you're springtime, so you're feeling it's a good time to plant. I want to clarify what the goal is, and I guess I'm so glad I do these things live so you guys can see that sometimes I plan out a reading and realize that some parts of it might need further clarification. So with the Sun card here, some of you are asking if it's the right time to make a baby, and now it is. Wow. Some of you are hoping for a favorable outcome with a Virgo or an older person, someone older or wiser, I should say. And also do feel like some of you feeling as if you are too old to have a baby. For some of you, you're trying to overcome some obstacle that you feel like with a baby, and it's something about age. Ultimately, though, okay, so for group one, the last message that I'm getting is that you're studying now, and you want to come out as an expert, or just basically you want to step out as a leader, as a teacher, as a guide of sorts, as an illuminator, okay? And it feels like you're probably just waiting for the right time or wondering if you're ready. So, okay. Okay, so the 3 steps. Patience, 7 of Cups. Explore your options, all right? And then also check with some of you really do want to have a baby. Look, she's pregnant. All right, so patience. With the 7 of Cups here, then you need to look at your options. For some of you, you're going to be looking at ways to get your body into optimum health to carry a child. Some of you are going to be exploring things other than IVF, because I feel like if this is a mature person, then you're looking for ways other than IVF to help you get pregnant. I said a mature person, but I guess that could be anyone. But you're looking for the most natural way. And for some of you, you're being told the first step is to tune into your body and to start to chart you or your partner, chart the cycles, okay? Chart their menstruation cycles, All right. And it feels like if you were looking for a time, then new moon time would be a good time to try this. Or new moon time would be a good time to try. I'm not an expert when it comes to the moon cycles and stuff and when's the best time to do what, but I just go with what I'm feeling at the moment. And it just feels like, around the time of new moon would be a good time to try to I feel like it I don't know how you would do this, but it's saying that when your cycle or when your partner's cycle is in line and is in alignment with the new moon, okay, or the full moon. I don't know how that plays out, but there's something about charting your cycles and or your partner's cycles to kind of come into tune and really set that intention that we're going to make a baby. Queen of Pentacles, flowering. All right. So then, I love that flowering, the flowering. Anyway, so ultimately we're sticking with Pentacles. So a lot of this here is about your health. I mean, I honestly feel like it's about health. I do feel as if some of you could already be pregnant and not know that you're pregnant. You don't know that you're pregnant yet because maybe you've been trying and maybe you've just been trying and researching and studying and looking for ways for so long that you haven't even been able to recognize the fact that you have symptoms of pregnancy. Ultimately, the first step is to tune in to your body. Look at your different options when it comes to uh, procreating. And then the next step is going to be to come into balance. Honestly, this is the flowering, basically to try, to not give up hope. Mm. Some of you may need to do research on what kind of herbs and stones bring about fertility. Um, Honestly, none are right on the top of my mind right now, but I'm sure that with a little research, which I guess is what you're doing now, then you'll be looking for ways to support your pregnancy. Honestly, with the Queen of Pentacles, it just feels like this is where you're going to really create a peaceful environment for what you are attempting to do. Man, group one, it just really feels like you're trying to make a baby, and I love it. So make a baby. And then lastly, the moon. Okay, so the next steps. Okay, so really ultimately step one is to kind of tune into your body. That's meaning look into any area that you might need um to focus in. You know, am I in balance when it comes to caring for my body? Where it does do the way that I'm caring for my body, does it support this goal? Okay, so step one, really ask yourself those questions. Look at your different options. Step two, integrate, balance yourself, come into a peaceful being, like create a peaceful environment, focus on nesting with the home. And then the third is silence, which is the moon. Ultimately, I feel like you just embrace and allow. Really nurture and appreciate the process that's taking place within you. Okay, ultimately, this feels like somebody is probably already there. So whatever, even if this is not pregnancy, if you have this end goal and you want a success here, it feels like it's already in gestation. Okay, it just hasn't been revealed yet. Ultimately, I do feel like this person is probably not aware of the fact that they are pregnant, or that there's high chances of them getting pregnant right now. Step one, two, and three. All right. So what's blocking you or supporting you? Trine aspect, okay? And grounding, earth element. All right. So honestly, you, your partner, and the divine are all in alignment now. And this is gonna be easy. It's gonna happen so much more easily than you expected. It's probably gonna happen sooner than you expected, or just as you give up, it's gonna happen. So what's supporting you is that you are in alignment, that you are maintaining positivity, that you're allowing, that you're flowing, and that there's not a lot of pressure here. You want to keep this environment flowing, okay? You want to let all the positive energies kind of flow through this environment without causing too much dis-ease, okay? Advice and guidance. The ocean. Oh my gosh. Go to the water and breathe. Oh my gosh. Or breath. All right. So ultimately, somebody, wait. Oh gosh. All right. Someone, again, might already be pregnant. Okay. And this feels like I've always wondered how people get all the way to birth without knowing they're pregnant, but that's what this feels like. Okay, that's what this whole thing feels like. To keep your stress levels at a minimum, you might need to be around water, but I also just heard float tank. So maybe if you've never tried floating for meditative practice, that might be something that really benefits you at this time. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, and as well as doing things that make you focus in on your breathing. So walking or whatever, dance or whatever movement. It feels like you really want to focus in on the body here for group one, so that you can get from from finding out so that you can carry the baby full term, okay? So this thing can go full term, all right? Ultimately, I feel like divine intervention is at play and that this is something that is now ready to go. So don't be afraid. Oh, wait, look, even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings about desirable effects. So trust in the power of your womb. If you've already been attempting to heal or find solutions for pregnancy or to get pregnant, then trust that it has been working in your favor and that you are now healed and ready to carry a baby and bring life into earth, into this world, okay? So group 1, that is beautiful. I love it. Group 2. All right. Where are you now? High Priestess. Where are you trying to go, or what is your goal? Okay. This is interesting. For you, there's something that you already are aware of the outcome. You've already kind of like foreseen this thing. You may also feel like you don't have enough information about something currently. But ultimately, I feel like you feel like, I feel like you believe that you have the right perspective, that you're walking with the right perspectives regarding the situation. And honestly, it seems like you may be looking to find out what this is. So you could be looking into something and hoping to, maybe you're just waiting for something to show that you were right. You know, the way that you saw the situation was accurate, okay? But ultimately, there's a success here. There's a celebration that's taking place. And I think this is tied to what you know already, or what you believe you already know. You know how this plays out, per se. And this 3 of Cups, you know, being what you are, what your goal is or where you're going, you know, I do feel like more self-esteem, you know, or more, yes, no. There, you are looking for something that really proves that you knew already. For some of you, you do spiritual work and you're waiting for something that really like seals the deal and says, almost like validates who you are. I don't get the feeling that you're looking for validation, but I think that there's a certain level of validation. Yes, you're looking for validation. I'm going to stop trying to sugarcoat it. You're looking for validation of these gifts, okay? And I think there's things that you've said and shared and done. You've seen some stuff and you had people tell you privately, but for whatever reason, I feel like you're not necessarily feeling like you get back what you give out when it comes to whatever spiritual work you're doing. So that might be something that needs to be explored a little. Ultimately, though, you saw something here, and I think it's weird. It's a weird because we're asking how to get to this. So you see a success in something, you see a celebration for something, and I get the feeling that you could have been waiting for either just validation, stamp of approval, she's the real deal, he's the real deal, or you were waiting to just kind of go to this next level of, I guess, development and growth when it comes to your spiritual gifts. That's the Page of Cups, not the Knight. So it does too feel like you were waiting for an offer that made you happy. Ultimately, though, if it's a relationship type of thing, this person already has someone else and you were hoping that their offer would come to you. So let's see what the 3 steps are. Letting go, she's moments to moments, and possibilities. Okay. So ultimately, you are in a twin flame connection and your partner was already in another connection, okay? And you wanted this offer to come to you. You want this offer to come to you, the offer of love, a connection to come to you. The first step that you're going to have to take is to just let it go. Walk away from it because it's not yours at the moment, okay? So you walk away from it and you allow things to kind of settle and sift and the ripples to just ease and calm, okay? So it's funny because on one end you feel your emotions, and I think once you walk away or once you do let go of your perception of this situation more so than anything, when you let go of that story. See, it's funny because it feels like this story that you have in your mind wrote out negative, it spoke negatively about what was coming or what this thing was, this goal that you had. So you were holding hope for it, but also everything else was showing you that maybe this wasn't going to be. All right. All right. So in walking away, every moment every moment mattered, and you didn't see how you walking away would play into this. It may be difficult even too as you move into it to see how each step that you take away from something actually draws it in closer to you, especially if it's a desire. Okay, the willingness to walk away from something that we desire tells the universe that above anything we trust the universe, we trust God. Okay, and we also trust that there's always still a possibility that there's always still, if I can maintain this higher perspective, I can see how these things work into my favor. So first step is to just let go of what you wanted and what you thought was going to take place in this situation. Let go of whatever storylines have been written in your mind. Two, take steps towards your goals. Okay, look at what your future looks like, and specifically if this is a person, you're gonna have to pull back the picture of you and that person doing X, Y, and Z, and focus in on what you can do right now. This feels like taking baby steps. So if you have this connection was definitely like a codependent, or it was based in need or something like that. So as you take steps to heal these things that kind of prevent you from having healthy connections, you open up the door to the possibilities. So let go of the old, take the steps towards just finding your own balance and your own peace. And then the third step is to explore possibilities. Okay. That really sounds very, very, very much like a twin flame dynamic, just so you know. You got the runner who was with the third party, supposedly. You got you walking away, focusing in on your own empire, your own self, your own path. And then as you explore other possibilities and your energy and focus is elsewhere, these things tend to try to come back around for you. Okay. So what are potential blocks or support right now? Mercury, masculine energy. Ooh, I love it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this, you could be blocked. This person, honestly, is probably a block for you. Period. Uh, but I do feel like whenever the masculine energy or the feminine energy cards come out, it feels like um, only inspired action should be taken. You shouldn't be taking action towards anything outwardly, trying to affect the environment. Okay. So by you trying to force, which would be kind of like a masculine thing, by trying to force or move things in your way, you can create a deeper block. But with the planet Mercury here, you can understand, if you can understand what any delays, restrictions, or anything like that are communicating with you, then this will make sense. This will all make sense. So pay attention to your insights. Pay attention not just to your intuition, but what the situation is telling you. I'm not saying base your faith on what you see in the material, but you have to be able to pair what you see in the material with what is going on in your spirit self, with your spirit self. So if your intuition is telling you it's a bad thing, if your physical environment is telling you it's a good thing, then now we're going to have to come together and figure out, not even figure out, but we have to quiet ourselves enough to see that even though that it's quote unquote bad, it still serves us, and or vice versa, whatever the case may be. I do think that, this is one of those work smarter, not harder, and what you know to be about this situation, the faith that you have, if you know this is to come back around for you, then that's your intelligence. That's the intelligence, that's the wisdom that allows you to navigate the situation without trying to force your own motive or agenda. Guidance and advice, be honest with yourself, and discretion. Okay, some of y'all are side chicks, and some of y'all were willing side chicks. So you actually shouldn't be trying to get to that connection. You shouldn't be waiting for this person to come back around. All right. So ultimately, be honest with yourself. Look into your heart and you will know the truth of this situation. It's safe to admit the truth to yourself, for we will support and guide you through any necessary changes. Lean upon us for courage and the strength to take good care of yourself. Focus only upon your true desires and they will come to you upon angels' wings. Discretion reads, friendships are fantastic when there is equality in the relationship. Maybe it's time to undertake a quick audit of your friendships to ensure they are reciprocal. The question here is make sure that you are being shown the situation, and what you're being shown might be that what you're looking for outside of yourself from this connection is something that you're not giving yourself within the relationship with you. Okay. I also feel like there are unrequited feelings here. So again, I said what your physical environment is showing you, you have to pair it with what your intuition is telling you, and then there is a message there for you. And if you're basically, the message can be that you sometimes self-deceive. Okay, you sometimes self-deceive and you overlook information that's right there in your environment, that's telling you which way to go. So right here, the way to go is to really, really tune into yourself and listen to everything that's being given to you so that you can move forward and out of this situation without attachment to how it comes back around or how it plays out. Wow, group 2, that was some good stuff. And group 3. Group 3. Where you are, the goal, or where you're trying to get to. Some of y'all are looking for financial breakthrough. Really, because where you are right now is down here. Somebody doesn't have confidence in their ability to make money, and their ability to provide, to give what someone else is giving. Someone feels inadequate, okay, less than prepared even. And what you're hoping for is some type of breakthrough that either brings for you, you're trying to escape. Some of you are in debt. You're trying to get out of debt. All right. Some of you, just no matter what you have tried, cannot bring balance to that area of your life. And ultimately, just me, you might be being taught basically the law of attraction by force. Let's teach them that what they earn is not in, basically everything that you get is not have to be earned per se. I hope that I'm saying that the right way. You don't have to work hard to make money. It's or your way of making a living, it's time to let that go and find a way where you can be compensated properly for what you put out. So you're looking for some type of opportunity, breakthrough, just offer, just something that seems to get you out of here, out of, because the Six of Pentacles talks about balance, but it's also a card of giving back or even needing help, So um, with the Five of Pentacles before it, that's being left out in the cold. And the Six of Pentacles means that somebody is offering you help, but they're still only offering crumbs. So you may just be feeling like things are slowly getting better, but that it's not enough relief yet. And so you're hoping for this sense of relief to come in. Also, someone is hoping that they don't get kicked out of their house. Like somebody's hoping that they don't get evicted because they couldn't pay. All right. Someone's hoping to find some type of solution to pay something so that they don't get kicked out or so that they don't lose something altogether. All right. So what are the steps? The next steps. Understanding. Go with the flow. And the mind. So, next steps. With the understanding card here, I do believe that this is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. Yes. The first step is to come to understand the thing that kept you bound. So for some of you, you are going to be, one, being honest with yourself about how you manage your own resources, how you manage things yourself, but also, yeah, understanding how you got into this place in the first place. Like, how did I get in this cage in the first place, in debt? And then this is also you accepting insight and guidance, assistance from other people, like the trustworthy guidance and I say acceptance. Did I say acceptance? Trustworthy guidance and advice about how to get out of this situation, because all of them are already out and flying free, and then you're still sitting here. How to get out. How to get out. So first step is basically kind of like ask your loved ones. Some of you, you might need to ask someone for help. Okay, ask someone for help. Because the idea is that you show compassion to yourself and understand that even though I got myself here, the acknowledgement of how I got here is like my first little kind of step. The acknowledgement of how I got here is the first step. And then the second step is going to be to the Ace of Cups, or going with the flow, which is going to be accept any guidance or insights that come in to assist you in this process. Go with the flow. So if it comes in and somebody say, hey, have you thought about da 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 da, even if they don't know your issue, trust that that's coming right from the divine, And then with this here, this is the Queen of Swords. I want to believe the idea is going to be, the third thing is going to be that it's going to be cutting out what got you here. So now that you have that understanding and you decide to go with the flow, this is going to be cutting out the old tapes. Okay, so basically old tapes are old behaviors, old patterns, old cycles. All right. And so once we escape, or once we have now come to understand how maybe the law of attraction works, and how we draw things in with more positive thinking, with more allowing, it's almost as if now you just have to integrate that, believe that, work smarter, not harder. So it's like, take that, what you know now, and apply it. Wow. And then it's something about here, because they're going to have an epiphany. There's an epiphany being had about the attitude that we carry regarding money. All right. The attitude. It's like you notice that at the top of the month you have more energy. You know you're more positive. You're more upbeat. And at the end of the month, or whenever money is low, you have an opposite mindset or energy that you carry. So someone's going to be looking at that. You're going to be looking at that. And I honestly feel like that's the purpose of this whole thing, is for you to identify what type of relationship you do have with money. And then so you don't ever have to have it again, basically. You want to have that breakthrough. Okay. So what's supporting you or opposing you? Taurus moon and reunion of souls. Yes. So I do feel that a romantic partner, or just a partner that you have some type of connection with, could come in and offer you assistance here. But this doesn't feel like they give you anything. It doesn't feel like they give you physical, material things. It feels like they give you advice, guidance, a book to read, or something like that, that helps you process through this whole thing. I also do get the feeling that you will learn organization, or basically some type of system to better manage your money. Or, oh, this person will probably come in and help you to put together a plan. What is it called? Like a debt date, debt free date. He's going to help you set, or he or she is going to help you set a payoff date for your debt, and a plan, like an action plan. So some of you are thinking that this breakthrough is money. Like, some of you are hoping that this breakthrough will just be money. But it seems like it could be money, but ultimately it feels like it's just advice and guidance on how not to end up to not repeat the same cycle of being broke and being victim, okay? To broke. So this person or this book or whatever you get is going to be great guidance for you as you move forward to be more responsible with the things that you receive. All right. Reward yourself and resilience. All right. So ultimately, if you have any, so some of you are definitely staying in poverty energy because you don't feel deserving, and that's one of your last blocks. So figure out how you got there. The second was go with the flow as new opportunities or assistance flows in. And then the third step is to remind yourself, or keep it in the front of your mind, that you are worthy of this shift in your dynamic, okay? You've been giving a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. Make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. This balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. So again, somebody is definitely learning something about the flow of financial energies, and what is the premium or optimum energy to attract financial resources, and what is not so beneficial, okay? Someone is protecting you from truth because they are worried about your response. It's not their decision to make. You're tougher than they think. So wait, so people in your environment, or even, yeah, people in your environment, or even you, might be maybe still in denial about the fact that you do mismanage money, okay? Or something in your life, there's still something there that you are not really owning, as you're trying to move forward. This is very familiar, and I almost had to check in and make sure I wasn't projecting anything on you guys, but that one hit me. Sometimes we just have to really be real with how much we are, quote unquote, wasting, okay? I do feel as if you can still be good to yourself. Honestly, too, universe is telling me that this breakthrough that you're looking for is coming. You know, not necessarily okay. So they did let me know that it was going to be counseling, advice, and guidance on how to best manage yourself and your resources. But I do feel like you wouldn't be getting that advice or that guidance if the money or the resources weren't coming, right? So typically you're prepared for things before they come, or you start to see little things, or you're led to take a class or do this or do that before this breakthrough or whatever makes it to you. And I do get the feeling that you will find that uh by studying or just researching certain things when it comes to managing your money, you will see that when this comes in, it will last longer, and you will feel like you did yourself a favor, okay? Because the money lasts. For lack of better words, it lasts. So just do yourself a favor. As you're going through this and as you're learning what got you into the situation in the first place, you know, use it to create that plan for how you're going to maintain whatever this wealth is that you're calling in, okay? Because you're calling it in. So figure out, learn how to manage it. That's what we're saying here, okay? And creative investments too. Make sure that you only invest in things that that resonate with you. Don't just pick things just because. Make sure they resonate with you. Group 4. Group 4. And I just want to sing, guys. Where you are. 4 of Pentacles. What's your goal? Queen of Wands. Okay. Whew. Okay. Some of you want creative breakthrough, all right? You want to feel inspired. You want to feel confident. You want to feel like you can get up and go. You want to feel like supported. You want to feel supported as you move forward. And honestly, I feel like right now you just are holding on to fear, anxiety, you know, like your darkness is like cloaking you, okay? It's not letting you really walk in your truest power because there's something that you're trying to hold on to. Oh, some of you are in your hometown and haven't quite reached your potential because you're too scared to leave your hometown. You know, the creative inspiration or energy that you need to experience, that you want to experience, is somewhere else, and you're gonna have to get up and go get it. Go meet it where it is what I mean. Because where your solar plexus, where your creative center is matching the energy of where you're trying to go. But you have to allow all of this red, which is the home, family, your roots, where you come from. You have to allow all of that to fall away so that you can be led by your creativity, your inspiration. Let's see. Let me clarify the Queen of Wands. Typically when I'm clarifying court cards, and just for my followers so you know, or subscribers, I don't like you guys as followers. But anyway, I clarify court cards because a lot of times I want to know if it's an energy or like a person. And I've already identified it as an energy, but for whatever reason I need to clarify it. Yeah. Judgment here. And the 10 of Cups is at the bottom, which lets me know that you really, what you're trying to get to, you're trying to reconnect with your creativity or your confidence. For some of you too, you also you also want to know where your sex drive went. Okay, some of you are holding on to what's called modest. You're trying to be modest, okay? And I think that it's funny because this is you want to reignite this sensuality or sexuality or whatever that is, but you're cloaked with shame. like shame is keeping you from really opening yourself up and experiencing passion, um, in its highest vibration. Because I mean, ultimately, we're supposed to experience passion, whether that be sexual, in our creative endeavors, whatever. Either way, what the goal is here is that you want to reawaken something, your creative energy, your sacral energy, something right there in the sacral, whether it's sexual or creative. You want to reawaken that. But there's something that you're holding on to, and I imagine that it's something like stability or how to make money. I can't just leave and just become an artist. Well, yeah, of course you can. So ultimately, you just really holding on to something that seems like it's providing you with security and safety, when ultimately you're really just holding on to your own darkness. So, steps to take. The master. Nothingness. And receptivity. All right. Um, I need to find out once and for all what this dang on card is. Okay. So earlier, I'm not even gonna go back to that. The receptivity card is the Queen of Water, the Queen of Cups. So the other one is the King of Cups in the second reading. Okay, but anyway. So for group 4, it looks like the first step is to acknowledge that that last chapter is closed. The master in this deck is actually, he comes after every other card of the major arcana and is actually an extra card. Okay, so the master here is saying that you have to understand that that season is over. Okay, you have to understand that you've now reached the end, and it is absolutely time to let go of whatever. Okay, you have to honor yourself and who you have grown to be. So the little girl that you were, and the things that your grandma said when you were that teenage girl, they don't apply now. You have to dig into yourself, look at all the things that you've learned, and be confident enough to just be who you are being right now. Okay, I say being, but who you are being, kind of like torn open so that this person can exist. you you are being just asked to say, okay, now this is the start of your new life, your new existence, your new authentic 100% you being. All right, all of that old is gone. So now that we're here with nothingness, nothing exists but you. And it's also the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant is about morals and marriage and commitments. So are you committed to following your own compass? That's the step here. Acknowledge that the old chapter is gone. Surrender to what's taking place right now, and open yourself. Follow your intuitive nudges, and then also open yourself to connection, because it feels like if you're that person who wants to reignite their sexuality, well, it sounds like you're gonna have to be receptive. You're gonna open yourself up to exploring and experiencing, because you can't just go around using that same, I don't know, checklist or criteria list that you used before when you're looking for a different type of experience. So if you're looking for more passion and excitement, I'm sorry, but going and approaching it with a level of attachment won't benefit you. Okay, so no expectation. Release the expectations and then open to receive. 3 steps. Acknowledge that the old chapter is closed. 2, be open, or sorry, old chapter is closed. 2, you are now have a clean slate and are being told to find what works for you or to drop your expectations. And then 3 will be to be open and receptive to the experiences that are flowing into you. What is blocking or supporting you, opposing or supporting you? Feminine energy. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this is totally about sexuality and femininity. Okay, and I just mean like receptivity, honestly, not femininity, but receptivity. Um, for you, and honestly, that's what the Queen of Wands also represents, like feminine energy, like that feminine sensuality. For some of you, you're gonna be sex tile. Some of you are gonna be engaging in sex, reclaiming your power as a sexual being, reclaiming your right to be a sexual being. Some of you are feeling that you feeling a lack of that, or feeling like your sex drive died, and you want, that's why you're trying to wake it back up, and it was dead because of shame. So whatever your past connections, whether you know you've dealt with sexual abuse, or just you misusing your body, you letting other people use it. So ultimately, clean the slate, let all of that go. And the womb, if you are a female, then you may actually have actual blockages in your sacral and solar plexus chakras. So make sure to check in on that and do whatever work you feel led to do. But ultimately, I know that with the sex style here, um, you're gonna be feeling more confident in communicating what you need and what you want. I also feel like that is this is definitely a favorable time for you to seek out or to make sense of what it is that you like and what you don't like, especially if this is sexual, which is the energy that I picked up. So focus on service. Your soul desires only to joyfully serve and to swim in a constant stream of bliss. This stream continuously feeds you everything you need. Put your entire focus upon staying in this stream of giving and receiving in every situation and in all that you do. All right. Also feel like this is saying that you need to focus on service, but honestly, I feel like it's talking about you allowing yourself to be serviced. It sounds like group 4 took us 18 plus. So I'm trying to be nice with my words, but ultimately, this is about you allowing yourself to be pleased. Maybe you are more of the giver when it comes to intimacy and sexuality. This here says that you're opening a door to more reciprocal interactions when it comes to that. And then the last card is joy. Okay, so ultimately, when you allow yourself to just lighten up, find that hidden inner child and have a play date. Laugh, be silly, dance, and sing. It's time to have fun again. For some of you, there's definitely some childhood trauma that has blocked you intimately, and it's you're being asked to have some joy. Really, like allow that healing to take place, because there's definitely a need for, if I'm being frank, just need for you to be rebalanced or recharged. And I do. I did this whole thing from a feminine view, but ultimately, if you're a masculine, you're gonna be letting go of some selfish ways when it comes to sexuality. I say selfish, but when it comes to not necessarily connecting with a partner, so you're gonna be exploring ways to do that. And the way that this is going to manifest for you guys is that you're going to be put into a situation, be put into situations and connections where you have very vocal partners. These partners will tell you what they need and what they don't like, and this will help you to kind of get better in tune. Okay, for some of you as well, the feminine energy is going to be rising in you. If you are masculine, you are going to be wanting more connected interactions, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, group 4, that is it. And group 5, where you are and where you're going, or what your goal is. some of you are literally going through a legal case, divorce, um, eviction, uh, trying to buy a car, house. Um, I said earlier somebody was doing some debt cleanup, so this might also be you as well. Whoa, 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 whoa. You could also be trying to figure out what is the best option right now. And ultimately, this is clarity that you're trying to reach. Clarity for the goal. We want clarity. We want to be able to get another perspective, or get the perspective that we're supposed to be having. So you want what the goal here is for your mind, or for you to catch up with whatever is taking place in your environment. That's, I don't know why I said it that way, but that's the way it wanted to be said, I guess. Ultimately, pillars. I also do feel like for some of you, you feel that you were on the receiving end of injustice, whether that was just somebody's ill treatment of you, or if somebody actually did something or took something from you. You're hoping that basically that's made right, that this comes out in your favor, that the truth is shown in the situation. Okay. Let me clarify the justice card. Justice. So okay, some of you are trying to get charges dropped, or like things expunged off your record so that you can have some freedom. You want that ruling to be in your favor. Some of you are actually also trying to appeal certain decisions about something, and you're hoping that that will be in your favor, that the truth prevails. Okay. This could be custody as well, and it's funny because this feels like something from someone else. So someone else took some type of action towards you, and ultimately it was not right. There was no foundation or any grounds for this, and you're hoping that that will be seen, that truth will be put out. And I'm just going to put this out here, that if this is you, and it's actually very specifically in family court, custody, or divorce or something like that, it rules in your favor, because the accusations are found to be not true. And this gives you more, kind of like more sauce in the courtroom. Somebody lie on you, it gives you a little more sauce in the courtroom. That makes sense. So Ace of Swords, I think that I have a good understanding about what the Ace of Swords is, but one more shuffle. If anything comes out, we'll take it. Yep, Eight of Strength. Eight of, sorry, it's the Strength card. It's not the Eight of anything. Ultimately, I do feel like your wish gets granted and you overcome the situation. And I think that that's what the Strength card is saying. You want to overcome, you want to tame, basically. You want someone to get what they're due, basically. Because you know that when this turns out, that other person has learned their lesson. And I feel that very strongly for if that resonated with anybody who's going to court or something like that. Then this other person or entity will check themselves next time they try to, I guess, play someone or get over on someone, make somebody else look bad. This could be a Leo person, or just something that this person, you want this to be done by August, or yeah, you want this to be done with August, and it's by August. And it's funny because you feel like this is the person who's taking action, or entity that's taking action against you, and then this is going to be you. That's what you want. You want to be like, basically eat your words. You're feeding them their words back. All right. I like it. So what are your 3 steps? 3 steps. Ripeness. 9 of Pentacles. Oof. Okay. Conditioning. And the Lovers. Whew. All right. First of all, the overall message is to maintain your integrity. That's the first thing. Choose to maintain your integrity in this situation. All right. Ripeness being the first step means that you're going to maintain, you're going to stay true to yourself, okay? And ultimately, you know who you are, you know what you've done and what you haven't done. So the first step is to continue to maintain that integrity, maintain that sense of self, because it feels like whatever whatever this person tried to uncover only shines a brighter light on you. So stay in that energy of positivity, of nurturing, of, because it's funny because you have, if this is, I keep going back to custody, you have a better setup than this other person does. Whatever this is, the person literally sets themselves up to be outed as the bad person, if that makes sense, as the sheep, as the wolf in sheep's clothing. You know, they set themselves up that way. So honestly, if you already know this person to be just kind of like a negative person or just vindictive, then you have to maintain your integrity. You have to make sure that you still maintain your own morals, okay? Because this is the devil card. And ultimately, you could be conditioned to go back and forth with this person. Do not do that this time. Do not play the same conditioning, okay? Because ultimately, this seems like this is a bad situation. Yes, it sucks that they're dragging you to court or that these things are being said about you or done to you, but ultimately it's a blessing in disguise, all right? So you know who you are. You know basically what your situation is. Own it. Be okay with that. Maintain your integrity. With the devil card here, don't fall into that, to the same drama. Don't fall into the drama, because ultimately people do stuff like this, or stuff like this happens to you even to grow you, to test you, to condition you. And you can either condition yourself, you can either play in the old conditioning, or you can start to condition yourself in a new way of thinking, a new mode of moving. All right. And then lastly, the third step is the lovers, which is choice. Honestly, choice. I also feel like this is also obviously a romantic interest for some, but this is gonna be a compassion, humility over, needing to get back at somebody or hurt somebody or anything like that. Do not bring any malicious intent into this situation. If it's already on the other end, excuse me, then this will play out the way it's meant to play out, and ultimately you will be the one who prevails. Very specifically, I feel like you're the one who end up with the kid if this is custody. So I just need to throw that out there. One person you're more grounded than this other person. So if you just remain grounded, because they're trying to break that. So choose to remain in your groundedness. What's the potential block and or support? Aquarius moon. This message here, potential blocks or support. What you're going to realize is, remember I was talking about, because this person is, okay, so this energy, this environment, this project, this person is coming from an emotional place. Everything that is happening is coming from emotions and improper management of them, okay? So you have to maintain the peacemaker, maintain the person who is looking for peace, and I do feel like another thing is going to be that you're going to end up sharing the different ways that you've tried to bring the situation to peace. So you've worked at it and it's become a burden for you because you've done this and this to try to come to peace or bring peace, and you haven't been able to. No matter what, this other person or this energy, this environment won't shift for you. And it's funny because as you detail this or as you share this information, you shift the whole dynamic of it. Because whereas when the petition is made, the court looks at it one way, but then once the defendant speaks their case and introduces another point of view, then it's seen, then you shift the way they see it. I hope that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Keeping that energy, that positivity, that upbeatness. Hey, I'm just trying to heal this situation. This is becoming a burden for me. This is becoming too heavy for me, but I'm trying to maintain even when this has been difficult. I've kept my end of the deal. So ultimately, because you maintain a certain sense of positivity, and then you don't fall into that negative, that devil energy here, there's a certain burden that's going to be lifted from you. And I think that ultimately, this other person, it's identified that whatever, it's funny because they identify a negative on their end when they were trying to identify one on your end. So they highlight a positive for you when they were trying to highlight a negative. And then the opposite happens for them, to where they're seen in a different light. Ask and love. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. For some of you, you definitely were hoping that somebody would take on a new attitude, a new energy, a new perspective. Okay. And I think that you may have definitely I feel like this is a two-part situation, because I feel like on one end, whatever this is that you were dealing with, even before certain actions were taken towards you, it was hindering you from moving forward in the way you wanted. Okay. And I think that's something that you asked for. This is leading to that thing, or making way for that. Let me try to explain it. Okay. So if you asked for a soulmate relationship, because I'm picking up that this is something that had to be fixed before you could have the connection that you want to have. Ask us to help you in this situation, and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. Love. Before you can truly love another, you need to open your heart and allow yourself to receive love first. If you open your heart to love, it will flow into your soul. So I do feel like this is an opportunity for forgiveness too, for some of you. But new perspective or new energy cannot be ushered in until we've opened ourselves up. So if you don't think that you're going to be able to have peace in a situation with someone, then you're probably not going to have it. Okay. But if you open yourself up, drop defensiveness, handle the situation with love and care, is basically how I'm feeling it. It's saying, you asked for a romantic connection. This is very specific for this. And there was unfinished business. And I hate to say that children are unfinished business, but it feels like there was custody things that would have potentially caused way too much drama for you. And so this is being cleared up. And as long as you go through this with a mature mindset, maintaining your integrity, this plays out in your favor. Whew. All right. Group 5, that's it. For whatever reason, it felt like y'all's was like super something. All right. Oh, my phone is doing the most. Sorry, guys. All right. Group 6 is at 109. Group 6. Where you are. 8 of Pentacles. Working hard. Putting in the effort. Where you going? Page of Wands. Wow. Somebody got a creative project going on. Okay. Let's see what this project is. All right. So with the 8 of Pentacles, you definitely are putting forth the effort. You're focused, intentional. And I feel like you actually are seeing some return. You're working at a job and it pays the bills. You're content. However, you do have this desire to follow creative inspirations. Okay. And I also feel that some of you, the work that you currently do, you want to find a way to do it on the go, like on the run or mobile service. Okay. Is that it? Yes. So you're trying to take it to the next level. Yep. And it's, yeah, honestly, I feel the need to say that the world card was there. And so this actually is going to be dope. Whatever creative inspiration you receive, and if you put it into action, this is going to be so amazing. It's going to be I was going to say a world changer. It's going to be a world changer. Ultimately, I feel like it's going to be seen all over the world, whatever this thing is. Let's see what the steps are. Consciousness, transformation, and rebirth. Look, ain't nobody got time for this stuff to be really resonating like this. So we have the Ace of Swords, which is a new way of thinking, right? It's a new idea. You're going to take this idea, this spark, and you're going to allow it. Well, not even allow it, but you're going to continue to work. The same effort that you're putting into something that was not as fulfilling, you're going to come over here and transmute this thing from a thought into life. You're going to bring it to life. All right. So the first step is to really acknowledge that I have this idea. You might need to write it down as well. 2, trust, acknowledge what is taking place right now. I am being freed from this job, whatever this is, monotony, routine. You're being freed from this. And ultimately, I do feel like that's what you're trying to get to. Is a little more freedom, a little more spontaneity in life, a little more creative energy flowing, a little more fun. So you're going to do it. First step is to think it. Second step is to transform it. So when you transform a thought into physical form, you write it down. So write it down, okay? The transformation card is the death card. It's Scorpio. So ultimately, there is a new phase taking place. There's a new energy present for you that's awakening in you. And if you can meet that thought, if you can meet whatever's awakening in you, and it's funny because whatever you're touching right now, like anything that you're doing, any steps that you're taking are awakening this thing. So if you're at work putting effort and then you're only focused on putting work, and if you're only focused on that, then no change is taking place. But I get the feeling that while you're at work, you might take a break and you might look at, I don't know what work you do now, but we'll just say if you're a chef, then right now, when you're at work, every now and then you look at food trucks or you look at properties, you look at menu items that you could create for yourself, for your own brand and your own line. So it does feel like you are, goes from 1 to 10. So there's definitely going to be a rapid manifestation of this thing. And so I think you're being asked I think that you're saying, you're being told to take a leap. First step is going to be, it's a thought taken into material form. You're going to transform it into a material thing. And then the 10 of Swords being here lets me know that because you started to write things down, every little fear or perceived blockage or whatever kind of falls apart. All right. So it's the thought. You transform it into thought or into physical form by writing it down. And then you begin to take action. It's a rebirth. This is the 10 of Swords, but because it's rebirth, it feels like action that takes place after. It's inspired action. It's inspired action. Think it, write it down, And, well, actually, meditate on the thought, share it with the universe, write it down, materialize it, and then take inspired action after you've thought it through. And it's going to be a success. Possible blocks and or support, teaching. This transition does have a lot to share with you, to have to offer you to expand in your expansion. I think that the process of deciding how to move forward, the desire even is the first teacher. It's the first lesson, is that I desire to be doing something else. Okay. I think you're powerful. You're powerful. You are powerful. That's just point blank period. And I think that that's going to be working. You're working in tandem. You are literally going to be co-creating, because your manifestation abilities are so high that things turn from thought to form so much quicker right now. So if you're trusting that, trust that your thoughts are turning into form very rapidly. So you're in this teaching environment where you're learning the power of a positive thought and the power of following your intuition when you're inspired to take action. You're being taught that right now. I don't necessarily feel like you are currently being moved out of this to this. I just feel like you're in the early stages of learning how to keep the path from where you are to where you're going open and pure, so that everything can manifest rapidly. All right. Giving and receiving and confidence. Believe in magic. You don't need an explanation for everything. Trust it has happened for all the right reasons. I love it. So it's funny because, like I said, you're thinking about this. Maybe you're looking at, an opportunity here or there. There's definitely going to be this rapid manifestation. So it doesn't feel like you have to go through losing this or you're forced into this thing. I just feel like as long as you are tapped in and allowing your confidence to be in God, in the universe, and not necessarily your own work or physical effort. So you're trusting. The idea right now is to trust and have confidence in the universe to support you in the direction that you're moving, period. And I'm going to have to look up the kangaroo again, because that's the second time that card has come out today in readings. I'm going to read it. Giving and receiving. The entire universe operates in cycles similar to your inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale, give, or only inhale, receive, you become out of rhythm with the universe. For optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation. I'm going to tie that to meditation as well. So make sure that you're remaining positive, because, like I say, everything is manifesting so rapidly. So keeping your thoughts and your projections positive, so that what comes back, what is returned to you, is positive. Definitely don't want to sully this transition that you're in right now. You don't want to sully it with doubts and fears. Be confident that you have worked and taken the steps up into this place, and now a spark is about to go from spark to blaze to flame in no time. I say sparks, from spark to full blaze in no time. So trust it. All right, group 6. Thank you so much. If you like these readings, please hit the thumbs up, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications button so that you know when I'm posting. That is it. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.